In dysfunctional families, chaos doesn't come only from arguments, manipulation, or silence. It comes from hidden psychological roles that children are forced to play without ever choosing them. These roles are assigned as unconscious survival strategies inside a toxic system, and the three most common are: the scapegoat, the golden child, and the invisible one. Understanding these roles is the first step to understanding your own wounds, because many adults spend decades repeating these patterns in relationships, careers, and self-worth, without realizing where it all began. 1. The scapegoat, the family problem. The scapegoat is the child who becomes the target for blame, criticism, and emotional dumping. Sometimes it's the rebellious one. Other times, it is actually the strongest and most emotionally aware child. The one who refuses to pretend everything is fine. How the scapegoat is created. In a dysfunctional family, someone must absorb the emotional chaos. That role is assigned to the scapegoat. When parents are unable to take responsibility for their mistakes, anger, addictions, or failures, they redirect it all into this one child. The scapegoat becomes the family's emotional trash bin. How it feels. The scapegoat grows up with messages like, "You're the problem. Nothing you do is good enough. And this is your fault." Over time, this child begins to believe they are inherently flawed, even though, ironically, scapegoats are often the most intuitive and emotionally resilient in the family. Adult life consequences. Scapegoats often become people pleasers, overthinkers, hyper-independent, conflict avoidant, or overly confrontational from years of survival mode. They tend to enter relationships where they are blamed, undervalued, or used unconsciously, repeating their childhood role. 2. The golden child. The family's perfect project. The golden child is not truly loved. They are idealized. This child becomes the symbol of the family's pride, perfection, and success. On the surface, they seem favored, but underneath, the pressure is suffocating, because they are loved only for their performance. How the golden child is created. Parents assign this role when they need a child who protects the family image, boosts their social reputation, validates their ego, and fulfills unachieved dreams. The golden child receives praise, but always conditional praise. How it feels. Golden children hear things like, "Don't disappoint us. You have to be the best. And why can't your sibling be more like you?" Failure is unacceptable. And because they are always compared, their sense of identity becomes fragile. They don't know who they are without success. Adult life consequences. Golden children often become perfectionists, workaholics, individuals terrified of letting others down, adults who don't know how to rest, and people with hidden anxiety or imposter syndrome. They appear successful on the outside but feel hollow on the inside because they were never valued simply for existing. 3. The invisible one, the forgotten child. This is the child who grows up feeling unseen, not because they are naturally quiet, but because their emotional needs are entirely ignored. They learn early that speaking up won't change anything, so they shrink themselves to survive. How the invisible one is created. This role forms when parents are emotionally unavailable, overwhelmed by conflict, narcissistic, or distracted, or focused only on the scapegoat and golden child. The invisible one becomes the easy child, the one who never asks, never interrupts, never demands anything. But internally, they are starving for connection. How it feels. Their inner thoughts sound like, "No one cares about me. My job is to stay out of the way, and I don't matter." They disappear in a house full of noise. Adult life consequences. As adults, invisible ones often grow into extremely shy or socially anxious individuals. People who struggle to express needs. Those who feel unworthy of attention or affection, and adults who disconnect when stressed. Growing up in a dysfunctional family means growing up inside a psychological system where each child is unconsciously assigned a role, not based on their personality, but based on what the family needs to maintain its fragile balance. But what most people don't realize is this. These roles follow you into adulthood. They shape how you love, how you argue, how you work, how you trust, how you choose partners, and even how you see yourself. Let's go deeper into how these roles affect your identity, and, most importantly, how you break free from them. How these roles follow you into adulthood. 1. The scapegoat as an adult. Scapegoats often struggle with believing they are too much, apologizing for things that aren't their fault, becoming the emotional dumping ground in relationships, and choosing partners who repeat the same blame dynamics. Ironically, scapegoats tend to become the strongest adults because they had to survive alone, but they carry emotional scars in silence. 2. The golden child. As an adult, golden children become adults who tie their worth to achievements, feel lost when they're not performing, panic when they make mistakes, and feel secretly empty even when successful. They look confident on the outside but feel fragile inside, because unconditional love was never part of their childhood experience. 3. The invisible one. As an adult, invisible ones often grow into adults who stay quiet in conversations, minimize. Their needs disappear in relationships to avoid conflict, feel unseen even by the people they love, and struggle to ask for help or attention. Ironically, these adults are often the most empathetic and emotionally deep. But they learned early that the world doesn't listen. The most painful truth: most adults don't realize they've been playing the same childhood role their entire lives. But here, as the liberating part, you are allowed to rewrite the role you were forced into. You don't have to be the scapegoat. You don't have to be the golden child. You don't have to disappear like the invisible one. Recognizing the role is the beginning. Healing is the next step. Reclaiming your identity is the final one. Breaking free from the role assigned to you. No matter which role you played, healing begins with 3 truths. 1. It was never your fault. You were a child surviving a system created long before you were born. 2. Your role was a defense mechanism, not your identity. You adapted to keep the family stable, even at the cost of your own emotional needs. 3. You are allowed to choose who you become now. Your past explains you, but it does not define you. The moment you understand this, the cycle begins to break. If you recognized yourself in any of these roles, the scapegoat, the golden child, or the invisible one, remember this: you deserve love without conditions. You deserve safety without fear. You deserve to be seen without having to earn it. Your childhood assigned you a role. Your adulthood gives you the power to break it. If this message resonated with you, like this video and follow for more psychological insights and hidden truths about the human mind.